So you shouldn't care who I am. Until I've created value for you, my story is irrelevant. So I want to get in just a constant value. And at the end, I'll give you some story if you want it. So at the end of the day, where does confidence really come from? What does it actually take to have confidence? Years ago, a gentleman was sitting on a park bench, depressed, frustrated, felt like a bankruptcy was inevitable. Hands in his face and his elbows on his knees, and he was just blown away that he can't imagine his business has gotten to where it is. Maybe some of you are feeling that way right now with COVID. In this state of depression, an older gentleman walks up to him, sees this younger gentleman and says, "Sir, what's going on?" He starts to explain this heartache, the pain that he's going through, the challenges that he's facing right now. And the gentleman said, "You know what? I've been where you are. Somebody reached out to me once and helped me. I want to do the same for you. Let me go ahead and write you a check. You don't have to pay me back interest, but I do expect you to pay me back. I want you to meet me at the same park bench 1 year from now." The gentleman said, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "No, someone did this for me. I want to pass it on and do it for you." This gentleman pulled out his checkbook, wrote out a check for $500,000, signed it, handed it to this young gentleman. The gentleman's reading it, 500,000, John D. Rockefeller. He just met the richest man in the world at that time. He shook his hand and said, "I will be back in 1 year." With this newfound confidence and enthusiasm, he went back to his business. He took that check, he put it into his safe and said, "You know what? I'm not going to spend it right now. I'm going to really make sure that I put all my best efforts in." So he started to renegotiate. He started to look at his different contracts, his employees. He started to really live in a very lean machine. And as he did that, within 3 months, all the stars turned in his favor. He started to make more money. He was able to hire more employees to the point where he actually forgot about the check. The 1 year mark came and he remembered, "Oh my gosh, I need to give that check back. I never even cashed it." He went to that same park bench, same time, excited to meet Mr. Rockefeller and tell him about his newfound success. As he was waiting for him, he saw this gray-haired gentleman walking toward him. And right before he reached out, a woman grabbed this older gentleman's arm and said, "You know what? I'm sorry, sir. If this older gentleman has been offending you, he loves to get out from the home and he likes to write people checks and tell everyone that his name is John D. Rockefeller. It's not. I apologize for the inconvenience." In that moment, the young man sat there blown away like, "Are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that this is not John D. Rockefeller?" And he just was just bewildered. But he started to realize what had happened. That confidence wasn't that John D. Rockefeller gave him a check. That confidence came because he believed in himself. He happened to have that theoretical check, which gave him the initial inertia to start to believe in himself. But when we start to believe in ourselves and we look at anything and everything as possible, we change the entire outcome of our lives. So I want to help you identify what drives you. And it's based off the drive cell system. And it's based off what makes you feel important. So you all should have this handout. And I am going to pause for 2 minutes. I'm going to make sure you have it. Some of you may have already done it. You may have not done it. It's very important that you do it. Otherwise, the rest of the speech will not be interactive at all. And I'm here to serve you. So simple instructions. Go ahead and read each card first. Then put them in order and rank them of what makes you feel important, not what's important to you. So for example, family and friends can be important, but they may not make you feel important. Work might be important to you, but work may not make you feel important. So I'm going to pause for 2 minutes, read these cards, and you'll see the corresponding D.R.I.V.E. Just write them in order on a sheet of paper in front of you. What one makes you feel the most important? Is it the R, the E, the dot, the I, the V? Put them in order 1 through 5. Actually, for the sake of time, I'm just going to have you do the first two. The first two that make you feel the most important. Let's go with that. If you ever get stuck between two of them, ask yourself, which one could you not live without? And when you're done, just for fun, go ahead and put your top two in the chat so everyone can see it later, because it's going to get very interactive and you will love it. But I'll give you another minute. I want to make sure you identify your two. All right, but it looks like we have everything. All right, thank you guys for participating. Now, the rest of this is going to be so interactive, and I wish we were doing this live. It'd be a blast, but in essence, we are doing it live on Zoom. So I want you to look at the different types of personalities there are. So if you chose the D, which is the green card, you're a director. So go ahead and write that word down on a piece of paper. Directors are motivated by lifestyle. So they want an enhanced lifestyle. They want a clear vision of financial and time freedom. They want that VIP experience. Now, when we talk about directors and lifestyle, it's how they define lifestyle. So I'm a director. I'm totally about lifestyle, the house, the cars, the trips. My wife and I was saying this earlier to Helen, we literally sold everything we owned I think it was September, to go travel the world for a couple of years. I mean, we're talking house, cars, toys. Each kid got one backpack and 2 suitcases. That's all we own. And we started here in Florida. We went down to the Caribbean islands for a while and we're bouncing around. Now, COVID has obviously messed that up. So it's totally offending my director lifestyle. But it's your lifestyle, how you define it. If you chose the pink card, that is relator. Write down relator. Relators are motivated by community. So their buying habits, what they do, they consult with others. They're looking for a family influence. They want to give back. Intellectuals are the I for the yellow card. Intellectuals are motivated by systems. They want that detailed office, the back iOS, like how does it work, step-by-step actions on how to succeed. They want to enhance their intelligence and their expertise. If you chose the blue card, the V is for a validator. They want to be admired. Now, the great thing about validators is they're phenomenal at giving validation to others. They're that team cheerleader, the 4 a.m. friend, that person who will always be there for you at any time. When they're looking to buy a product, they're looking at attention and focus. How is that product going to make them look better? If you're going to sell to them, you want to make sure you're highlighting their accomplishments. And finally, if you chose the black card, that is the E for executive. They're motivated by proof. So they want to know things work. They want third-party testimonials, and they are focused on big picture. So a quick snapshot, if you want to take a screenshot of this, directors want lifestyle, relators want community, intellectuals want systems, validators want to be admired, and executives want proof. So if you are selling to a director, use imagery. And if you are a director, look at these images. Do they appeal to you? Do they make you feel connected to them? Ironically, when I was creating this PowerPoint, the lower left-hand corner, that car I have used in my PowerPoints for probably 10 years. Subconsciously, I was in Atlanta, was in September speaking, and I was using the same PowerPoint slide. I'm like, wait a minute, I actually bought that car in red. My backyard, I shifted and changed to a beach. Even though I was living in Utah at the time, there are no beaches in Utah, but I brought in 9 dump truck loads of sand, fake palm trees, tiki huts, because I wanted a beach in my backyard. I now since I've moved to Florida, now I'm able to attain that down here. But subconsciously, we're attracted to those images that appeal to our drive. So your social media posts, how you interact with others, make sure you are attracting the right drive with the right images. So if you're a relator, it's all about community, connecting to the people, every sex, race, religion. Intellectuals, they want the system. How is this going to help them get from point A to point B as fast as you can? The validators, they want to be admired and they want to give admiration to others. And executives, they want the proof. They're the show me the money kind of people. So I just want to read a paragraph and see if this resonates with you. So if you chose the D as director, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to just think about your life. Directors enjoy a good challenge and love to feel free and independent. They enjoy being creative, discovering new things, and enjoy experiencing life. They are great in social settings, putting together a variety of people and making something happen. They find joy in overcoming obstacles and making a difference in the world. So go ahead and open your eyes. Would you agree with that statement? If so, hit yes in the comments. For my relators, once again, close your eyes. Just be in the moment. Think about these words. They know how to build strong, long-term, healthy relationships. In the workplace, their strength is in networking and building other people up to a higher level of productivity. They garner energy and security through their relationships. They are loyal to their friends and are service-minded. So if you are a relator, please, in the comments, hit yes or yes. Let me know. My intellectuals, close your eyes. I'll read these to you as well. They are stimulated intellectually, either through books, speeches, research, conversations, or organization. Success comes when they accomplish a task. They would rather be learning something new than just lying around. They are driven to understand and be more knowledgeable. They like to share what they know with others. So if you're an intellectual, pop in a yes in there if you agree with that statement. For my validators, go ahead and close your eyes. I just want you to think about these words. They enjoy intimate, small groups of people where they are being validated. Often they are wonderful at giving validation to others. Their confidence stems from the strength of their relationships. If they feel like they are in a healthy, caring, and trusted relationship, they feel strong, secure, and loved. So for my validators, is that a yes? If it is, go ahead and put that in your comments. For executives, as well, close your eyes if you would. They are productive and thrive on getting the job done. Task-oriented and focused on getting results. They do not like small talk and would prefer tackling a project rather than sitting around and wasting time. They are happiest when they are pursuing or achieving a desired goal. So once again, if you are an executive, would you agree with that statement? Go ahead and throw a yes in there. And just for fun, if you would, take a quick look at that chat. Notice that it's yes, like unanimously, not like 50-50. It is unanimous yes on every one of these drives. Here's the power. When you know someone's drive, you know how to communicate to them in the most effective way ever. Imagine what you could do for yourselves if you started communicating what motivates them based off their individual drive. You will see yourselves skyrocket. But more importantly, you'll see your relationships and your connections deepen in ways you've never seen before. And I'm going to show you how to do it. The why versus the how. So your drive is what makes you feel important. How you get it met is based by your supporting cast, the other types of drive. So it's your primary drive and your secondary drive. I'll use myself as an example. I am a director relator, and this is why I wanted you to put your first and second. Look at your first one and your second one. Your first one is your primary drive. It's why you do what you do. Your secondary is how you go about it. So as a director relator, when my secondary is being met, so when my relator drive is being met, when I'm getting text from Helen to come on and do this call, it meets my drive, my primary drive goes up. So that's where all my confidence comes from. When my relator drive is crashing, that's where I feel uncertainty. So think about your life right now. Think about COVID. Look at your secondary drive. Has it been offended? Being locked in, not being able to connect to that drive. Has it made you crash emotionally at some times? I'm guessing it has. So your secondary drive influences your primary. Another way to think of it is this way. Your primary drive is the car. So that's the vehicle you choose to live your life. How you get there is your secondary, which is your gas. So primary is the car, secondary is the gas. So I'm going to skip these illustrations because I want to be able to get to time for Q&A. So let me go through these really quick, different case studies and so forth. I'll cover those another day. Well, let's look at where your stress, your fear, your anxiety, your procrastination, where does that actually come from? It comes from conflicting drives, when your primary drive is battling your secondary drive. So all the stress, the fear, the anxiety, when we procrastinate, it's when that secondary drive is not being met. I had experience, it was about a year ago. I got a call from one of my larger event promoters that I work for, and he canceled 2 of my events, my speaking events. Well, that had a ripple effect of costing me about $750,000, which is no small amount to no matter who you are. And it really hit me hard. I was like, man, as a relator, secondary relator, I'm doing everything I can. I thought I can sit here and wallow in it, and I can feel anxiety, and I can feel depression. I can feel all these fears, anxieties, and all these emotions, or I can put more fuel in my tank. So I instantly invested in my relationships. I called everybody that I know. I went out and reached out for other speaking opportunities. And that is actually how I got to Australia through Rob Sperry. That one phone call, he's like, Woody, I got a gig in Australia. Why don't you come down and share Drive? The only reason I'm on this phone call tonight is because in that moment, that pivotal moment of depression and frustration, I decided to respond, to choose how to live, to invest in my secondary drive. So if you feel stuck, if you feel exhausted, if you feel frustrated, double down, fill up your tank, get your secondary met. And let me show you how to do that. As you do it, what happens is that fear and that anxiety goes away because you're internally validating your secondary drive. So if you're a director on your secondary, I want to be very clear, this is how on your secondary you fuel it. Number one, get out there and travel. Now I know right now we can't do that, but experience something new. Get out there and play and have fun. Write a personal declaration of independence. Start a new hobby. Study the great lives of other people. Listen to positive music. Acknowledge your triumphs. Volunteer in your expertise and clarify your purpose. On your secondary, I want to be clear again, on your secondary, if it is related, here's how you add value. Give anonymous service. List your gratitudes. Pray or meditate. Pamper yourself. Celebrate with close friends. Join a networking group. You guys already done that. Keep a journal. Send thank you notes. Forgive someone. Let go of grudges, anger, fear, and negative thoughts. If your secondary is intellectual, organize your schedule. Say no to ineffective offers. Learn something new. Live with integrity. Create a system for your business, your family life, or your family or your personal life. Hike, bike ride, just get outside. Join a book club. Pick a new topic to study. Schedule fitness time. Take an online course. If your secondary is validator, keep a success journal. Pamper yourself. List 10 things that you do well. Trust your instincts. Accept yourself and others. Read self-help books. Lift somebody else's burdens. Give gratitude for all that you do. Create a shrine of success. And let me tell you what a shrine of success is. It's where you buy a little trinket, a little something to help you validate yourself from the inside out. So little things that you have mementos around your office. Could be a screenshot on your phone of things that you've done well that you're proud of. So you are creating a shrine of success for yourself. And lastly, give yourself permission to dream. This is the most important thing for a validator secondary fuel, is giving yourself permission to do what you want, to be who you want to be, and not look for permission from others. If executive is your fuel, start small, set small obtainable goals. Executives always want to have everything tomorrow, like huge ostentatious goals, which are wonderful, but for that fuel, set small obtainable goals. Reward yourself. Stop solving problems that people don't have. Put a plan into action. Focus on your wins. Organize your workspace. Give 10% of what you make. Have an accountability partner. Release what you cannot control and join an investment club. As you do those things, what you're doing is you're putting fuel into your tank. You're making that car more efficient. A lot of times, especially in an economy that we have right now and people's fear and anxieties, our relationships are siphoning that gas out of our tank. It's draining us. So please make sure you invest in yourself. I'm going to give you the 3 C's to building confidence, and then I want to go to a Q&A. Number 1 is control. Realize no matter what your drive is, that you have complete control of your actions, your thoughts, your words, your perspective, and your destiny. No matter what you're going through right now, no matter how hard it is, you actually have complete control of how you respond to it. For a snapshot of my story, high school dropout, millionaire at 26, broke at 27. Lost it all in the dot-com bomb of 99. I went through, made it all back in real estate, bought homes, cars, toys, all that. Lost it again in the housing market crash of 2008, filed bankruptcy in 2015, rebuilt it all back, increased a larger net worth in a 5-year period, sold everything I have to travel the world. So no matter how bad things are, you have complete control of how you respond to them. Number 2 is choices. You have to make your own choices. You cannot rely on somebody else to tell you what to do or how to do. You've got to show up and own your space. And what I mean by owning your space is owning your life, taking complete control and complete responsibility and accountability for it. Third is consistency. Anyone who's ever achieved anything of any amount of success did it consistently over and over and over again until it became so natural that it became easy. So in short, that is drive. I want to be able to go back to any questions that you guys might have and see how I can help you out. So on the Q&A, go ahead and write some questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys have.
That was awesome, Woody.
Thank you.
There's a lot of chat in there. Can you see them? Yep.
I'm seeing the chats.
Can you be a yes to all of them?
Oh, thank you very much. I did not see that one. No, you cannot. And what I didn't cover because we didn't have time is if you look at, think of an upside down T. So your top is your primary, your secondary is the second one, the 3 on the bottom. Those are the other 3 drives. Those rotate based off the environment and the situation that you are in. So being a direct relator, the intellectual side, when I'm writing a book or I'm creating a new PowerPoint, yeah, that's moving around, but it is not why I do what I do or how I go about it, but they are still there. So no, you cannot be a yes to all 5. You have your primary and secondary, but you don't lose the other 3. They're still there. Great questions on where can we get the cards. Yes, I have individual plastic cards that have the drive on them. And let me do this real quick. 1 second. It's not letting me, there we go. Can you still see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay. So right here, basically, I have individual drive cards where you can lay the physical cards out in front of people and then you can share them with others. I have maybe 25 left. If you guys want to figure out how I can ship them all to one person and they sell for $20, I will sell them to you guys for $10. They won't have the metal case. They'll just be the 5 cards, $10 US and plus shipping. Whoever you guys want, I can ship to one address. You guys can get them to each other. That's fine. I did not come on here at all to sell, but they are available. I will have a future website, discoveryourdrive.com. If you go there, there's nothing there. I'm in the middle of finishing the book. Everything will launch in probably 30 or 45 days, and I'll beg Helen for me to come back on and share it with you and send you a link.
Awesome. How quickly, Woody, can you determine what someone's driver is? Like, example, a customer.
You can do it in 3 questions. Well, okay, there's 2 ways to do it. You can do it with the cards, which I always recommend, or with this handout that you received. And feel free to print off that handout or text it or email it to people. I have a screenshot. I have that as a JPEG on my phone. I just text it to people. I say, hey, just put these in order of what makes you feel important. And that's how I get all my correspondence. I apologize. You asked a question. Oh, how fast? So 2 ways. The cards or the handout is always the best. But there are some times where you aren't able to, it's just not right. It's not convenient. You're on a phone call. You meet someone in a restaurant. You can't say, hey, let me throw these cards down. There's 3 questions you can ask. The first question is this. Other than work and family, what are you most passionate about? Other than work and family. In fact, you know what? I've got a PowerPoint. Let me just pull it up.
Awesome.
I have a stupid amount of PowerPoints. But this way you can have a visual. All right. Let me turn these all white and you guys can just take a screenshot of it. Right there. Other than work and family, what are you most passionate about? When you don't get to, then you insert that passion. How does it impact you? When you do get to insert that passion, how does it make you feel? What you're doing here is you're talking about a positive and a negative. So you're counterbalancing it. If you go for that positive negative and they say, oh, nothing negative happens, you don't have their drive. If it doesn't affect them emotionally and passionately, you have not hit their drive. And that's why, in fact, right here is where I'm referring to the kind of the upside down T. You have your why versus your how. The bottom 3 you still have, but they move around based off the environment you were in. Then the second you know someone's drive, you can sell them your product based on solving their problem.
Awesome, I love that.
So Helen, what I'll have you do, If you will read through the comments and just ask me the questions that you think are most appropriate for your team, I got about 15 minutes before my next call, so I'll be happy to answer questions.
So is this training accessible on YouTube or anywhere else? Because it's so powerful.
Nowhere else in the world. I'm dead serious. I'm just,
okay,
it's not,
so
it's
guys,
not.
You should have came to the event that we went to in the Gold Coast. No, but you look, we hopefully, please God, will have you back on again, where you can do your that particular one that you shared with us up in the Gold Coast, which was really powerful as well. Questions? Lisa Bayfield, they're listed on Woody's Facebook page. Okay, so you guys know you can jump over to Woody's Facebook page as well if you want to listen to his lives. Woody, I'm not going to go off topic, but you shared a live the other day and you talked about the different age groups. I don't know if you're going to remember this off the top of your head, but that was really powerful because obviously in network marketing, and in our company in Isogenics, we have a huge demographic of young millennials. And then you have, us, I like to say I'm young, but nearly 50. And then you've got some older people. Sure. So a mixture. And that was pretty powerful what you shared on that particular live about what people have been through and what to expect now. Would you mind just talking into that?
I'd be happy to. And for those of you who want to connect with me on Facebook, which is the only way to reach me, just facebook.com/meet Woody, MEETWOODY, meet Woody. Also, if you scroll back maybe a month ago, I put up, I think 36 slides on Drive for to train on. So someone asked earlier where you can access it. There is some training there. I purposely have not released anything publicly until I decided to launch the book and everything. I've been doing Drive for 15 years, but I do it very exclusive, very high end. That's why you won't find it online. Now I've decided to go out to the masses. So that's the transition. Back to answer your question. So this recession, if you are between the ages of 20 and 30, the last recession was 10 or 12 years ago with 2008. So back then you would have only been 10 or maybe 18 years old. So you you're not experiencing it the same way some of us who are in our second and third one. So if you're between the ages of 20 and 30, find somebody in their 50s who've gone through 2 or 3 of these, ask them how they did it. Ask them what they went through. What are the tricks of the trade? If you are the age between 30 and 40, well, the last one, you would have been either the beginning of your career or maybe just kind of out of college. It still wouldn't have had the greatest impact. But you know that your parents probably had a tough time in 08. Rely on them. Go back to them, ask them what they've experienced. And if you're between the ages of 40 and 50, this is your third one. You had 1999, you had 2008, and now you have this. Rely on yourself. You've already overcome hard things. You are phenomenal. You have a 100% track record of overcoming difficult tasks. Rely on who you are. You're going to make it. If you're over the age of 50, you are a sage. You're someone who's been through 3, 4, maybe 5 of these. Because since 1790, there have been 47 worldwide recessions. So 47 in the last 200 plus years. So be that sage. Reach out to other people who might be struggling and let them know they're going to be okay.
Awesome. That was really powerful. Thank you. I got a lot from that when I seen you live. I loved it.
Thank you.
Just a quick one, because I can see another questions in the chat. When you identify other people's driver, how do you then sell to them? And I know this is a longer, I know you haven't got lots of time, but even if you give the overview of
I have got a PowerPoint for that. So let me just pull that up.
And also, guys, very powerful when Woody done this with us, identifying just one product, how you can, change the tagline on each product to hone in on a certain buyer's style. It was really, really powerful. So powerful. So we're posting or putting up, Instagram stories. You can really use these skills to help you sell to different, even if it's the same product. Am I right, Woody?
You're right on. In fact, let me just cover that really quick right here. Can you still see my screen okay?
Yes, perfect.
So in 2011, there were more active cell phones in the US than there were people who lived in the United States, because people had a work phone and a normal phone, both cell phones. So if you look at a director buys a cell phone for a certain reason, a relator buys for a certain reason, though it's the same exact phone, intellectual, validator, executive, same thing. We all buy the exact same, what I call evergreen products, cell phones, cars, but we buy them for different reasons. And it comes down to the benefits. So I'll just jump to this last slide here that I had earlier. People are buying your product, your service, your message to solve a problem in their life. So here's your homework assignment. Take whatever your top selling product is, or your favorite product to sell, list all the benefits of that product for a director, for a relator, for an intellectual, for a validator, for an executive. Then step one is identify your customer's drive. I always prefer just ask them, show them the card system, show them the handout. I've never had anyone say, I don't want to know more about me. Of course they want to share. Then as soon as you know they're a director, validator, an intellectual executive, you know exactly how to present based off their drive and not yours.
Awesome. Does that make sense, guys?
We call that the 20-80 rule. You lose 80% of your sales when you open your mouth, because you speak your drive language. You're alienating the other 4 languages, which happen to be 80%. So when you learn all 5 drive languages, what you're doing in essence is creating the potential of increasing your closing ratios by 400%.
400%.
Yeah. And if you remember at the event, at Rob's event, in an hour, we increased their sales 1,440%.
Okay, guys, just want you to actually just bring you back to this event. And look, I love Woody. Woody's not selling anybody anything on this call, nope. Anything. And I love that. But when we were at the event, Woody was a guest speaker at the event, and he was truly the best training that we had. Don't tell Fraser I said that, because he'll kill me, but I do love Fraser. But at the event, the boys, Fraser and Rob, were doing a sell to their next event in Australia, which is in a year's time. And basically, Woody came on and told us what he was doing. He was using this tool to sell the event to us. Now, you're all in Isogenics. You've been to many events. You know that we have to sell tickets. We have to sell the next event, or it doesn't happen. So we always have like a special offer, etc., whatever it might be. So the boys had already done their ticket sale, and maybe perhaps it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, but then Woody comes on and says, I am going to show you how to actually implement this skill. And he sold the room. You just heard him by 400 and how many percent?
1,440%.
So
they had, and by the way, I have permission to share the story because I just wrote it into the Drive book, and I sent it to Rob and Fraser. I said, can I use this in the book? Because it's a perfect illustration. Like, absolutely, Woody, you did it. So they had sold 10 people. Through the Drive system, we ended up selling 144 people. And by the way, I didn't make any money on that. There was no commission to me. I just want to show that Drive works. So we sold an extra 134 people into their system, which was a 1,440% increase in sales.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's totally incredible. I cannot wait for you to come back on if you I
will absolutely be back, because I'm going to need your help with my book to get it out there. So I will be back.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be a hot sell. I can tell you that now. And guys, you've really only seen a minimal amount of book in. Like 2 days we had, and Woody was like maybe 2.5 hours, and we've only had just almost an hour here, not even 40 minutes. Yeah. So you've not really seen what this can do. I do have all the slides. I tell you now, I'm nowhere near as, I tried to explain to my team. I've done the best I could. I'm not the best communicator. That is something that just dropped into me while I was on this call, that I need to improve my interview and communication skills. However, I'm brilliant at building relationships and getting long-term customers. But there you go. Just had another aha moment.
So, okay, for fun, Helen, what is your drive? What's your primary and secondary?
R&D.
Oh, that's exactly, there you go. So related director. So you help with the lifestyle. You feel free and independent to build your relationships. So the easiest two people to sell for you are directors and relators.
Thank you. Yeah. And they're the people I relate to the most, definitely.
Sure. They're your people.
When people say, show me the money, I go, oh my God.
You feel repulsed by it because it's against your drive.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I run in the other direction. But Woody, I am just, any other questions, Guy, before he jumps?
I've got time for one more question.
I would love your book. People are looking for the book. It's not out yet, but he has been working tirelessly to put this
around the clock. Literally, I was working on it before this call, and I'll be working on it tonight. It is 99.9% done. My goal tomorrow is to make a post. I'll probably make it at 4 in the morning. I finished, and it's going to the editor, and then it goes to the manufacturer, and then we are done. Yeah,
and just Kat also just mentioned in the chat, which is really important. It's not that we make this about us. When we can identify our drive, it's about us being able to identify the customers and making it about them. Okay, so
100%. Yeah. So today, I made it about you because of COVID, because of all the fear and anxiety that people are feeling right now. I want to do a personal development training. I believe in the platinum rule versus the golden rule. So the golden rule is do unto others the way they want, that you want to be done unto. That means I'm going to treat you based off my drive. That's totally selfish. The platinum rule is do unto others the way they want to be done unto. So when you know someone else's drive and you're conscious of their drive, you are selfless. You are being transparent and you're there to serve them and create value. So it is always about them. The drive helps you obtain it quicker.
I love that. Go the platinums. Woo!
Platinum all the way, baby.
Everybody get to platinum. That's our rank in our company. That's our highest rank. Is
and that's a perfect example of why you should.
Perfect example. That was aligned. We didn't set that up, guys.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Woody. We really appreciate it. Unless anyone's got anything else, I know you've got to go and you've got to get straight on another call. But this was invaluable for the little snippets that we got. I think, these guys are going to be hungry for a lot more of your training. I can feel it.
I look forward to it. Helen, thank you for sacrificing your time. Thank you guys all very much. Do good, be good. Love you tons. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. So grateful. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thanks for jumping on. I hope that you got something from that call. I know you did. But yeah, we'll organize the cards as well. I will actually jump in and get the cards, and then I know it's going to be a shit fight. Who wants them? But he's only got 20 left, and I know he's genuinely about that. So yeah, thank you, guys. I'm going to jump off, and I hope you all have an amazing day.
Thanks, Helen. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Kat's got a call now at 11 o'clock. Run to executive. Let's go.